I remember now.
Yeah, it was real
I was
hyper.
like, oh, she's so much better now. She's finally cut loose.
I was out of control. There was a brother of one of the new kids on the block in the audience, and he talked to me after the show. I mean, you've made things happen for me, Mark.
There was?
Yes.
Which one?
Joey McIntyre's brother, Tommy or Timmy. I don't remember.
What the fuck was he doing there?
He was there because Joey McIntyre is friends with Graham Elwood. I know way too much, and it is a
Graham Elwood from Canada?
gift that I have to bring new kids on the block into every conversation. You haven't had any of them on the show, have you?
I haven't had any of them.
I mean, I don't know that.
I work with Marc, though.
Well, there you go.
Isn't he one of them?
Yeah, he's a brother. He's not.
His brother's in the new
Donnie
kids.
Wahlberg, his brother's married to Jenny McCarthy.
Oh.
Have you had Jenny on the show?
No.
Yeah, no. Oh.
I don't know what I'd do with Jenny. Talk about vaccines and Donnie. All right. So here you are, corporate culture, administrative assistant.
Right. And then I prefer executive assistant.
All right, fine.
Sounds fancier.
Were you losing your fucking mind?
A little bit, yeah.
What'd you do comedy on a dare? What happened?
I think I just, I think I told someone.
Yeah.
And then I set the date, and then people were going to show up. And I didn't know how it worked at Acme. It was where I signed up. I didn't realize that, like, you didn't just get up. You know, I didn't realize a bajillion people sign up.
Is that how it works there?
Yeah, I think, so like the store or anywhere else, like a bunch of people go and sign up on a list, and then an hour later they put the list out. And so I said I was going to do it on whatever, December 6th.
Yeah.
And then the week before I was like, oh shit. I've invited people. Again, not realizing, like, don't invite people.
Your first time?
To your first fucking time.
To your first 5 years?
Although, the first time it probably was because you're so high and they're just so impressed that you did it. But
did you practice on people?
No, but I mean, with the acting, I knew, and I would go see comedy and would go to
You did?
Yeah.
So that was something that was in your repertoire, live comedy?
Yeah, a little bit when I was an adult. I didn't listen as a kid. Like, there's some comics who are like, when I was 5, I was listening to albums and...
No, but when you were working at the executive assistant, you guys
would go to
sometimes
Acme.
be like, let's go see a comedy show.
Yeah, and we knew of Swordson because his half hour had just come out, and he's from Minnesota. We knew Bamford way back then too because she was just like the coolest already.
Yeah, was she from up there too?
Yeah, she's from Duluth.
Oh yeah,
but I don't know where she started stand up. If she started, and we all knew Hedberg.
Sure.
So
because he was from there, he lived. That was like he came from 2 places.
Yeah,
but,
I think Seattle also.
Right. But his family was from there, right? Mm-hmm. Minneapolis, or
I think
somewhere?
Minneapolis or like a suburb.
Right.
Yeah.
So you knew him.
Yeah.
Briefly when his headshots just said Mitch.
Right. And he's like touring with Chad Daniels and Darlene Westgore and like doing small towns.
Chad Daniels, another one. Mm-hmm. Great comic.
Yeah, he is like, I just worked with him in the summer in Sacramento and then here in LA, he had me open for him at the Improv. And his fans are everywhere, and it sold out months before the show at the Improv.
At the Improv here?
I was going to tell you, when we did the tour for the last special, not the most recent special of yours on Netflix.
Too Real.
That you filmed in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
I was so sick that whole tour and when we drove from Madison to Minneapolis, I was trying not to cough. Like, I think I had a sinus infection.
Oh, yeah.
I was something off, and you were like, I'd be like, nope, I'm great. I'm not sick at all, sir. I
remember feeling bad.
So bad, and but it's all turned out because I didn't want you to get sick.
But that's very nice of you. And you went and got a coronavirus test before this
right.
show.
Yeah, because my husband was like, you can't go to Marc Maron's house. You can't infect an icon, a comedy icon. I'm like, well, geez, like, I haven't left the house in a month. What is wrong?
Does it feel weird? Am I like the first person you talk to in person?
Yeah, that's not my... Well, we have a real Jesus neighbor. We live in a duplex, real Jesus neighbor on one side. In construction, I cannot stress to you how close and how much construction is happening next to my head in the morning. Like, our bedroom window, like, I could open the window and shake the hands.
That's fucking worse, man.
So it's like I can't even let me just go sit outside and read a book. It's because it's either Jesus telling me how this is end times and like we all got to turn this is in the book, Mark. You just ask my neighbor. Ask my neighbor.
I know it's in the book. So all right. Well, how does that how often do you see her?
Well, anytime we open the door, she'll open the door. Like our doors are like it's like an L, so our door you know what I mean? Like gosh, and she's fine. But
like she's really into.
She's a Jew for Jesus.
Oh, wow. So that's extreme.
And
they double down.
Yeah.
On the Jesus.
Everything comes back to, and she's she'll ask you a question but doesn't really want you to answer because she wants to tell you about Jesus. About Jesus.
The good news.
Yeah. And this is all prophesized, and pretty soon they're going to be putting chips in us. And
oh, it's the 666 chips.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, of course. The Illuminati, Mark of the Beast.
Yeah, and I'm like, I just want to get my newspaper, maybe read this book, because now otherwise it's construction on the other side.
Construction. I had to deal with that for a year. They built a bank. They put a foundation.
Here, with the other house?
No. In Boston when I was younger, when I was just starting out in comedy, like staying up late.
Yeah.
And they were putting a foundation.
Oh, just jackhammer.
No, bigger dropping a giant thing from a crane onto steel girders like they were nails. They were putting nails into the earth. Giant nails into the earth. With a dropping fucking rock.
What time do they start?
Crane. Like 7.
Yeah, you can, because now in LA, you can start at 7 a.m. weekdays, 8 a.m., and sometimes at 6:45.
And the
trucks rolling up.
The type of futile anger you experience, where there's nothing you can do. It's a good life lesson.
And I hate confrontation so much.
Yeah. Well, what are you going to do?
Yeah, but we are paying rent, and they're leaning a lot of the like wood and stuff on our like by our bedroom window and our back. And my husband, it's like he's talked to him several times, and he's
about leaning,
and talked to the landlord, and he's pretty fired up. But I'm like, if these workers, they don't give a shit. Like what are they building? They're remodeling. Like there's 3 houses on a duplex, a little bungalow, and then a big house, and they're remodeling the little bungalow that I think they've planned to just we'll just replace a couple of things. And then it was like they pulled the thread and we're like, we need to totally redo this.
Oh, so now it's going to be forever.
Yeah, and they're redoing our driveway I don't know today.
Wow. Driveway? Really?
I guess.
Cement?
Yes, I don't know.
So it's the same units, it's the same owners as your place. I get it.
But it's like the one time in history where for a month
we can
sleep in.
Yeah,
I could do not. I'm really good at doing nothing. I could sleep in.
Me too.
I love to stay up late and sleep in, but we can't.
I'm fucked.
Yeah.
All right, so
yeah,
you're going to comedy shows, executive assistant. You've seen Bamford, you've seen Schwartzen.
Yeah.
You've seen Chad Daniels.
Yeah. And I was like, this is cool. And I thought I'd try it, and I said I'm going to try it at least 3 times, no matter what happens.
At Acme.
Well, I didn't know. I didn't realize. I got up 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
And then
Lewis.
Yep. I don't know who is actually running the Monday. He doesn't pick the Monday night list. I think maybe he'll say like, ooh, once you get to a certain point, he'll be like I remember the first time I got 5 minutes instead of 3.
Do you remember seeing Hedberg?
No.
Oh, you never saw him?
No. Okay. No. By the time I started, he was already I remember I just started and he's on Letterman again. Or something,
right. Got it. Yeah.
But yeah, so I got up 2 weeks in a row and people were like, holy shit, da, da, da. And I was like, oh, you don't just get up every week? Okay. And then I went to the third time was at some little rinky-dink bar show.
Did you write jokes?
I did. Yeah, I did. I had 3. I knew because I'd gone enough to see people who looked like they were just winging it.
Yeah.
And I knew from my stage training that
they weren't?
Or they just couldn't do it. They were like, oh, shoot, what else?
Oh, you mean at open mic?
Right.
Yeah. But you knew that everybody you saw professionally was writing.
Writing, or if they were winging it, it was like they were winging it with an idea.
Yeah.
So I did prepare and then just started, and then I liked it, and it was like, oh, this whole new world, and oh, it's fun, and you're out at bars, and it's like a million guys, and you're the pretty princess for a week, and you're like, oh, fuck this.
But you didn't, but still you,
I kept my day. That was one thing I remember Tracy Ashley saying, keep your day job as long as you can.
Right.
Which was also good. And it's an interesting, starting in Minneapolis, you can make a few bucks.
Yeah.
If you have 15 minutes that's cleanish.
Yeah.
There were, at least when I started, a handful of
one-nighters,
bookers who were like, I'm doing this, deer hunting widowers weekend. Ooh, a lady comic who's kind of clean. Heck yeah, come and do this VFW show where there's a 90-year-old and a 19-year-old in the audience.
Right.
We need, so you learned okay, well.
So you do special event gigs in the area.
Yeah,
you got
weird,
into a
VFW.
Yeah,
you can drive, like an hour around Minneapolis.
Was there a community there?
Yeah,
of guys and women that never left?
I would work a lot for Bill Bauer, who's has passed away, but
he was a stand-up?
A stand-up, and I think he maybe was like of the Louis Anderson.
Oh, that generation?
That generation.
But never left the region?
I think he was out in L.A. and then started a family, maybe wrote for some things out here and then went back, but like sold out everything. Would do all the talent, did the circuit in the Midwest and would sell out all the shows. And those were always great, super fun gigs. You always got a prime rib dinner,
Right.
And there's another lady, Rox Tarrant, a woman that I would always put on these shows.
Yeah. And I always love hearing about those people, the unsung heroes.
Yeah.
Regional acts.
Yeah.
That just keep going.
Yeah, or there's like C. Willie Miles, another comic that would perform at Acme sometimes, but just does I think he does a ton of cruises and like corporates. 'Cause
yeah.
Once I started doing it, friends' parents would be like, "Oh, we saw the funniest at our Coldwell Banker annual meeting. Do you know this guy?" And I was like, "I've never heard of this guy." And then he like rolls up in this fancy car, and you're like, "Oh shit, that's a whole nother circuit of comedy I know nothing about."
Have you done that?
I've done a few corporates, but
yeah.
I didn't quit my day job, that office job, until I've lived in LA almost 6 years. So maybe like 7-8 years ago. I kept it a long time. And then I kind of went down to part-time. I would leave early, drive 4 hours, tell jokes, and then come
benefits?
back. Yeah.
So you stayed practical.
I stayed.
You could not just let it all go.
I'm not going to take that leap. I'm not going to cross on the don't cross. I'm not. It was scary to take a leap.
Well, you got to take a leap.
Yeah. Yeah.
When is that going to happen?
Well, I'm here. I'm in LA. Here we are. Here we are in quarantine. Had some really, really great auditions right before lockdown. One of the last auditions I went on, the guy was like, "That was great. I'd shake your hand, but and I was like,
really
great."
But wait, okay, so you get here.
Yeah.
And like, I think I had part of that. I think I talked you up in Rolling Stone magazine.
Yeah,
like, I'm
yeah,
going
I use it in like a little one sheet about myself. I'm like, here's what Marc Maron said about me 20 years ago. Oh, you want to find the article online? You can't. It's no longer on the thing, but he did say it.
Yeah, because I guess it didn't. Maybe I'm playing the long game. For you.
Thank you. Just waiting for my time.
Yeah.
And I do wish, I think also starting in the Midwest, you have this, the carrot you're chasing is, okay, I'm going to host. Instead, you do these guest spots. Okay, and then now I'm going to host. Okay, now I want to feature. Okay, now I want to headline this tiny room in Sioux Falls. Okay, which is great, and it's a good skill to have.
Right.
To not be afraid of an audience of 12 people, 2 of whom are 90.
Yeah.
1 of whom is 21.
Yeah.
Or whatever, and there's a hockey game on the TV behind you,
Yeah,
but,
I know those kind of things, yeah.
But, so you're chasing that and your headline, and then all of a sudden I feel like, when you're like, oh shoot, is this the
life?
Oops, damn it, because then you get to LA and you're like, dang, all these people who've lived here 5 years before me, the connection, the friends that they have.
I know, but does it matter? I have no
sense
of it, man. I mean, does it matter? Like, I got here and I was like, I got here from New York. And I had some reputation, but I didn't. I feel
like you always had a reputation.
Well, not a good one.
Right. Well, yeah, I didn't say that.
Oh.
But
like when I got here in 2000 and whatever, I mean, I could do comedy, but it was like, where can I do it? How do I do it? What, who do I
nobody gives a shit if you have, you can move here as a headliner.
About nothing.
Yeah, they don't care.
Doesn't matter.
They don't care. You have 45 minutes out. Nobody cares. If
you got to get into the rooms.
You got to or on the cool show.
Yeah.
And then that worked out. The one thing about Minneapolis, so once you realize, oh man, my goal is not to headline whatever small town every other weekend. Or I need to get somewhere where I can get a TV credit, so then at least I can draw some people, whatever. In Minneapolis, sometimes people like you come through, or I did Doug Love's Movies a couple times. So then and then that's where I met Jonah. So then it'd be like, oh, I'm going to be in LA. And he's like, oh, well, why don't you come and do my show? Oh, what's your show? Oh, Meltdown. Yeah, I think I can squeeze that in on my trip.
And you did it, right?
Yeah, I did that a few times. And
did you do the TV version?
I didn't do the TV version. I have no TV outside of maybe seeing me in a commercial for insurance or something. But
how many commercials did you do?
I've done 3 or 4 here in LA.
Yeah.
Does that sound about right?
That's good.
Yeah.
Did they make some money?
I'm non-union, so I mean for the day that I show up, yes, but for the 10 auditions before that.
But you come out here and you've got a few friends, and you're doing the little rooms here and there, but it's hard. Yeah. And then then you get the job over at the restaurant,
right?
And there you are.
Yeah.
But you don't have a problem with that.
No, I mean I'm super part time at restaurant. And,
It's a groovy place.
yeah. And it's good because then I saw you because I think like you wouldn't have had me on the podcast festival when I first moved here if I hadn't seen you in the restaurant. You know, like
Well, I didn't
outside
know
out
where
of mind.
you were,
Yeah.
you know, and like I always wonder about people when they, you know, when they are at jobs where they're visible to other comics. Like, am I embarrassing her right
Yeah.
now? I saw Sebastian Maniscalco when he was a fucking waiter at like the Four
Yeah.
Seasons or whatever. And it was just that moment where I'm there for a meeting and he's the waiter. I'm